So now in this particular series, we will start with building machine learning model. So we will use machine learning model to predict whether a person has sleep disorder or not based on the given parameter like his age, blood group, and then previous disease and all. So there are a couple of parameters that we will use, and based on that we will train one machine learning model or maybe two machine learning model. Then we will compare which one is giving a good result, and based on that particular model we will do the next step, which is creating an inference pipeline and deploying that model in local environment and then in cloud environment. So let's start with a Jupyter notebook. So I have already created a Jupyter notebook. The problem statement is sleep disorder prediction. The aim of the project is to analyze the person's lifestyle and medical variables such as BMI, physical activity, sleep duration, blood pressure, and many more. Based on that, we will predict whether a person has sleep disorder or not. So about the dataset, so there are a couple of 400 rows in this dataset and 13 columns. So this column is nothing but a feature. So in every dataset, you will get one data dictionary. Okay. So this is the data dictionary. This is nothing but the meaning of each column. So we have person ID. So person ID is nothing but a unique ID assigned to each person. So based on this particular information only, you can use common sense to discard some feature. Okay. Then gender, as usual, male, female, age of the person. Then we have occupation of the person, because sometimes occupation also play major role in the sleep cycle. Then sleep duration, then duration of a sleep of the person in hours. Then quality of sleep in ranging from 1 to 10. So a person can rate their sleep cycle within a range of 1 to 10, like how good quality sleep they are getting. Then physical activity, low, medium, high, stress level, BMI category, blood pressure, heart rate, daily steps, and then sleep disorder. So in this particular data set, this column, like from person ID to daily steps, these are your independent variable, and sleep disorder will be your dependent variable. Now, if you see in sleep disorder, there are three categories: none, insomnia, and sleep apnea. Here, none does not means that there is no missing, there is no data. None is a category. That means that person does not have sleeping disorder. That's why it is represented as none. So don't get confused between none means no data. Okay. Insomnia means a person has sleep disorder, means he is not able to sleep at night. Then this is similar like sleep apnea. It is again a different disorder related to sleep only. So either sleep apnea means a lot of sleep, insomnia means no sleep at all, and none means no sleep disorder. So these are the three categories. So technically this problem is a classification problem, and this particular problem statement we have three categories. So it's a multi-class classification problem. Okay. So now we'll first build a machine learning model to solve this particular problem. Okay. Now the first step is always import all the libraries. So we are going to import the NumPy libraries for numerical preprocessing. So majority all the machine learning algorithm like linear regression, logistic regression, everything, those algorithm compute heavy numeric data. So to compute those numerical data, the model requires numerical calculation. That's why we are going to use NumPy for all the matrix operation. Then pandas. So pandas is nothing like a Excel for Python. So whatever data that we are going to use kind of in CSV format to process that data, to handle that data, for that we are going to use pandas library. So import pandas as PD, NP, these are alias name. Then matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So from matplotlib.pyplot we are going to import PLT, like we will import that as a PLT name. Inside that we have lots of functions for data visualization. So this matplotlib and seaborn, these two libraries are used for data visualization. Now the difference between two is matplotlib is again a different library, seaborn is different, but you can use matplotlib and seaborn library together. So matplotlib will give you rich customization, and seaborn will give you good quality data visualization using less code. So let's say if you want to use good visualization, go with the seaborn library. But on top of that, if you want to customize your visualization, then you can use matplotlib. So this is how you can use these two libraries together. Now the first thing, when you import the libraries, you need to load the data set. But there is one thing we need to make sure that before importing anything, this Jupyter notebook currently is running on base environment. So first thing we need to do is create a Conda environment for this particular project, and then create a Jupyter kernel for this Conda environment. And then we will shift this entire Jupyter notebook to that Jupyter kernel. Okay. So we'll start with the CMD terminal first. Now, first we will create a Conda environment. So let's say I will write Conda create -- name. Name of this environment will be sleep prediction, or else I will write simple disorder dash prediction. And for this particular project, I want to use Python 3.11 version. Okay, and click on enter. Okay, I have made some mistake. Conda create. Okay, I forgot to remove the space, and let's enter. So first we will going to create a Conda environment. Once that is done, click on yes. After this, we will create a Jupyter kernel, because now I want to use IPYNB project file to create the entire project. So we have created the environment. Let's activate that. Conda activate disorder dash prediction. You can use short name also. It will be easy to type. Okay, again I made some mistake. Conda activate disorder prediction. Now we are in a proper environment, disorder prediction environment. Okay. Now inside this environment, we need to create a Jupyter kernel so that we can run IPYNB file as well. So for that, I have written all the codes, like whatever the code you need for Conda environment, I have written everything inside this notepad. So to add an environment to your Jupyter notebook, we have to run this two code: pip install IPY kernel. So let's copy this part first and paste it here. So we need to install this IPY kernel inside this Conda environment only. Okay. So it will download all the dependencies. We need to wait for a couple of seconds. Okay. So now it has installed all the dependencies. Now you need to note down this thing. See, this is the error which is in red font. Now it is showing that Torch 2.6.0 require this, but it is not installed. So whenever you import any kind of library, and if you face such issues, then no need to worry, because this particular error is for Torch 2.6.0 something. Means it is related to Torch and Torch Vision library. But in this particular project, we are not going to use this two library. So even if you get such kind of error, you can totally ignore this thing, because it will not cause the project, because we are not going to use that library again. Okay, for this particular project. So you can directly ignore this particular error. Now let's go back to new part. So we have installed the IPY kernel. Now let's import that, let's create that IPY kernel. So for that you need to use this command, but change your name from Conda environment to this. So currently we are using this environment. Okay, disorder prediction. So I will change name to disorder prediction, and in this part also I will change the name to disorder prediction. So quite lengthy command, but you need to follow a proper format. So I will just simply paste that here. So Python -m IPY kernel install user. User is basically you are giving a permission. _name equal to, this is your environment name. So we are using disorder _ prediction environment. Okay. So that's why we have disorder _ prediction, and then double underscore display name. So this disorder prediction is Conda environment name, and display name is your kernel name. So once you copy this command, click on enter. Now it will install the IPY kernel. Okay. Now don't close this Jupyter notebook. Don't close this terminal, because we are going to import the dependencies inside this terminal. So now what we have to do is, let's go to Jupyter notebook. Okay, this one, and here you can go to kernel, change kernel, and from here you need to see whether this Jupyter disorder prediction kernel is present here or not. So you can see there is no Jupyter kernel with that name. So the reason is, when you create a kernel, it will not directly reflect on your preferred kernel. So for that you need to restart your Jupyter notebook. So what you can do, I can directly close the Jupyter notebook, and then let's go to the folder where all the files is present. So this is the folder where I have kept all the Jupyter notebook file. Now inside this path only, I will open up my Jupyter notebook. So here I will type cmd. From this location I will fire up my Jupyter notebook. Before that I need to close the existing Jupyter notebook terminal. So let me close everything. Yeah, we don't need to close this terminal because we are going to open the Jupyter notebook. Now let's type Jupyter space notebook and enter. Now let's open this Jupyter notebook. So by default it has selected the Python 3 version. Now what we have to do is, we need to change this default kernel to the kernel that we have created. So for that I will go to kernel, change kernel, click on here and select this disorder prediction kernel. So this is the kernel that we need to use for this Jupyter notebook. Okay, so let's select disorder prediction, click on select button, and then it is mapped. Okay, now whatever the code we will write, it will work on that Conda environment, which is you created using this name, disorder prediction, and this Jupyter notebook will also run inside that Conda environment. Now let's import this dependencies like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. Okay, so if I import, you can see there is an error, no module name NumPy. So again, go to your terminal where environment is still active, and here type the package name, pip install pandas. Okay, now again wait for a couple of minutes so that it will install all the packages. Again we got some error related to easy OCR and torch vision. As I said, this error is pointing to this particular library. So we are not going to use this library in this project, so no need to worry, you can ignore this error. So let's run the import again. Now it is showing for Matplotlib. So NumPy Pandas has installed properly. Let's install Matplotlib library. So again go to terminal, type cls, and now type pip install matplotlib, enter. So it will install all the Matplotlib libraries for data visualization, and let's install other libraries as well. Pip install Seaborn, because we are going to use Seaborn for data visualization. Okay, then one more library will be scikit-learn, because we are going to use machine learning project. So pip install scikit-learn, enter. Again we need to wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, install. So most of the packages that we know we need to use this for this particular project, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, scikit-learn, we have installed it. Now we can run this import command. Okay, so now all the packages has been imported successfully. So in this way, you need to set up your project in Jupyter Notebook. So create new Jupyter Notebook, create Conda environment, and inside that Conda environment, create a separate kernel. And then you can move this Jupyter Notebook to that particular environment. So now your Jupyter Notebook is running in proper isolated environment. And if you need any particular package, you can import or install that package in that environment using this technique, CMD terminal. Okay. And once you are done with this particular part, then we can move on to the next project part. Okay. So this is how you can set up your entire project in Jupyter Notebook using Conda environment.